Alrighty, we're back here with Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, and what I've done is actually look through and start a bunch of feats that I think are going to be relevant for each character, to essentially save us some leveling hassle in the future. So, haven't read every feat super in detail, like specifically like the ones that have prereqs that lock in and stuff like that. Um, So I've just looked for the ones that are immediately available, especially since it's our first perk. Maybe when we get later. But I've at least got a couple ideas for each character now. So, Argenta here. I'm planning on taking her to likely become Arc Militant. Um, in order to do that, to make best use of that, we want to be hitting multiple things multiple times, and I'm thinking also really playing into her very high dodge chance because she has a 50 agility. So I looked at some of the perks, and there's a couple that work pretty well. This one is just a generally really good for any ballistics character as far as I can tell. First reload being free. I'm not sure how prolonged combats are going to be. So that may be enough that reloading never literally becomes a problem for all but maybe like some boss fights. Which would be really good. And even then, minus 2 AP costs. I wish I could check how much AP it costs to reload, but I'm assuming it costs 3. I'll check once we start fighting. But that's something to consider. I don't know if I'm going to grab that right now. So. This one synergizes with Revel Slaughter, because after you hit 3 guys, this one doesn't have to be killed, though. You get a, in this case, it would be 18% bonus damage for just your next attack, though, so okay. But like say a boss fight or something where there's only one enemy, absolutely completely useless. Besides the one time that you killed probably all the ads or whatever. This guy though, this is just flat bonus crit chance, and not a negligible amount either. In this case, it's just flat 8% extra crit, which is pretty big as far as I could tell. I don't know if there was maybe a gun, but that seems really good, and will get doubled if we have cover. So the soldier class seems to have a lot of cover-based mechanics bonuses. So this is really tempting because just flat significant crit, no caveats whatsoever. Sounds absolutely great. Other top contender right now is Exploit Surroundings, which is far more defensive, but it's pretty crazy defense. With the caveat that, of course, there is cover that exists, right? But plus 10% for full cover is 70% dodge chance extra, reduction to hit. But importantly, half cover, which is usually going to be much more available, gets bumped up to 55%, which basically makes it as good as full cover is. So that sounds pretty good to me. This one, if we're synergizing with dodge, we already have a pretty high dodge chance. If we do dodge, it gives a guaranteed crit, which, crits are great. They're not Pathfinder crits, they're not triple damage, so they're not like insane to fish for, but still, extra damage is always very good, and guaranteed extra damage after specifically dodging, which would go really well with, say, Exploit Surroundings or something, which makes it, much better. Although, maybe it doesn't, because if they don't hit via the cover, you don't get a chance to dodge, maybe, so I'll think about that before going all in. This one is just flat damage increase by like 4-ish, 5-ish, 3-ish, depending on the gun, which I think sounds good. I don't know how much HP and such is going to actually scale going forward. Swift Slaughter is high in my mind, largely because getting this active is just much better, right? This lasts until the end of combat, so theoretically we could trigger this 3 times in the number of times that it would take us to trigger it twice. Oh, never mind. We can only use it once, but we get it earlier. So slightly less appealing, but, getting it earlier means, it'll be useful more often. This one is also tempting because right now we're losing 25% of our dodge chance, which should be 80. So doing this, if we stick in medium armor, which I think we will, is, especially since we have such a high agility, is going to, significantly increase the dodge chance, and then pretty much all the characters have it will not die starred just in case, just because it's pretty much just a toughness perk. So, what are we doing now? Are we going defense or offense right now? And what I think right now is I'm going to go for just a flat crit chance. Because there's no caveats, it doesn't disappear after like the next successful crit or whatever. Just in this case, flat 8% extra crit. Sometimes if you're in cover, flat 16%, which should bump up our DPS actually a pretty good amount if you're considering that you have burst fire. So you're actually potentially getting multiple hits per turn. So yeah, we're going to do that, and then of course we're going to get the ultimate ability for all the characters. This one is just more attacks as far as I can tell. Okay. Psyker Lady. Again, we've kind of already looked at all these when I was looking at the operative perks. In this case, though, there are some Psyker perks that I'm interested in. In particular, Second Sight, which will give us 4 extra tiles of range on our Psyker abilities, which is allows us to sit back a lot more, which is going to be important because I'm planning on taking her down the Bounty Hunter, so I want her to be super high alpha damage, basically. So things like Fresh Target are potentially very enticing, right? Because if we have really high alpha, right, an extra, 15% extra damage is pretty nice. But I think I'm either going to take Second Sight or Predicted Downfall. Because, again, this kind of plays into the turn 1, getting as much as possible. This just means your turn 1s are likely to, at very least, hit your enemies, which are very important, because your turn 1s are how you usually reduce the number of actions your opponent can take. At least if you have high initiative, right, it allows you to take other people out of the combat before they can even take a turn. So if you miss on your turn 1, it feels pretty bad. In this case, it's 14% dodge reduction, which sounds pretty good to me, and it's only going to scale higher, and scale higher by a pretty large amount once we start getting higher psi ratings. I don't know how high this number goes, but I know at least goes to like 3, which is pretty huge if you actually look at this, because that becomes 28%, which might help against some more annoying enemies on turn 1. So I think we're going to go for that. We'll see how much Second Sight needs, but this one I think is just going to be great for turn 1s. So we're just going to grab it now. Abelard. I'm planning on taking him down Vanguard because we need a melee character, and this man is going to be our tank. In light of that, I have decided to go with Clenched Teeth here, which, because he has, 50 toughness, which means a +5 bonus. Clenched Teeth here, again, pretty much turn 1, so I don't know how prolonged combats are going to be, so maybe these are going to really fall off, but -5 damage from every enemy on turn 1 that attacks him pretty much sounds pretty great. It's unclear to me whether or not this is first attack from that target who hits Abelard, or if it's just their first attack. It's still good either way, because we're going to be throwing him right into the front line, so usually AI will target him if he's enemies out of cover, high hit chance, etc. So we'll probably get some usage out of this, but if it's not, we should focus on trying to get some taunt skills, which it looks like some of the class stuff does have later on, based on my quick skimming, so I think this is still just going to be good defense, right, because -5 damage raw is pretty great looked at compared to some of the other abilities, such as like Thick Skin just gives -1 damage raw, and also some increased parry chance, but I'll have to look at the numbers to see how important that is, because with the extra parry chance from armor, it's going to be like an extra 10% or so, which could be good, but I need to know more to see how combat flows out, because it seems like you can get to a pretty high level in this game based on just what you're allowed to take, so maybe this the stuff will fall off very quickly, but at the very least I see it being very useful now. Other thing I was really looking at was dual weapon combat, so we have someone who can attack twice, besides the gun lady. Also, Combat Master seems pretty good if we're thrown into... Right, we're charging into battle a bunch. We'll probably be surrounded, so it'll get these extra melee superiority bonuses, which we could just negate. And the other ones are kind of like damage oriented. Also, just more movement sounds pretty good for a melee character because they have to, you know, move to the enemy. But we'll see. So I think for now, Clenched Teeth sounds fine. Cool. We have completed leveling up.
They say a little bit of humility never hurt anyone. I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
Cool. I feel like the audio is a little bit odd right now. Maybe I just have very sensitive ears right now. So we'll just go with that. Actually. Just a tad bit. So I saw formation. Why is formation in this menu? Interesting. Beautiful. Alright, let's leave here. Fascinating. Alright, does anyone have intelligence of lowness? You do, Abelard. Who's a smart boy? Not you. Okay. Las pistols. Already got one. I've got a sword as well. Okay. So just hold on to it. Cool.
Victory awaits!
Anything else? I don't think so, so we're just gonna continue on. Gotta loot the cargo. How's it going, bridge officers? Oh.
I did fine.
XP. Cool. Warp energy permeating the bridge.
Opens the eye. The second sacrifice draws its gaze.
Crunch drop. Crunch drop. Stealthy, guys. Stealthy. Adeltharon, who is clutching a bleeding wound on his chest, gives you a tormented look. Help has arrived. Too late to change the tide, I'm afraid. But if there's any honor in you, can die in dignity and give our lives for the rogue traitor. The Lord Captain will not be joining us. I don't know if we need to give him that much to spare. Oh. Adeltharon gives you a confused look, then realization dawns on him. His eyes fill with disbelief. No. The rogue trader is the odd. Adeltharon shudders and grabs his shoulder. As you watch the sleeve of his jacket burst open and two bone growths pierce through the fabric. No matter what ritual Cunard is performing there, the warp is too strong. I cannot withstand it. I feel my body changing every second. The warp is ringing in the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the warrant and all the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity has triumphed. Yadira looks anxiously at Adeltharon and glances back at you. I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. The change is already accelerating. Do you get stern with him? No, we're going to give him a potentially realistic solution. The ship can still be steered out of the warp, but we first restore communication between the bridge and Navigator Sanctum. He stares at you, his eyes hard and cold resolve once more. Then we have no right to bow our heads. You can see Conrad Vartigir clearly in the gloom of the bridge. He's like 10 feet from us. Alright, the broken blade he is holding is stained with dark drops that seem to have pearlescent glimmer to them. We are out of time. Adelthod bites his knuckles, desperately thinking. You see a wave ripple across the whites of Adelthod's eyes, and they begin to turn sickly yellow. Let's just go after Vortigern. Vortigern, you duplicitous cur. Duplicitous cur. The rogue trader's death will be avenged. What? Theodora is dead? She seems in genuine bewilderment. No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't. Adelthod lowers his head, and then he sighs and locks eyes with you, his gaze cold, haughty, and fanatical. The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it, and you see that the void ship breaks free of the warp. Watch over our realm, and farewell. Adelthod, don't!
Your ritual won't be finished, heretic!
He'd be warping. Ah, he completed the ritual.
Run, fools! Or fall!
To use unique abilities called heroic acts or desperate measures, momentum is required. Depending on the actions of your party in combat, momentum bar will increase or decrease. High momentum allows heroic acts, low and desperate measures. They can change the ability, course of battle, but you can only use one and only once in a single combat. Okay. Wow, those are some stats, alright. Alright, not high armor, not high dodge, that's fine. Has a melee that is a box. I respect it. 10, 15 damage, toxic spurt. Okay, no immunities or anything. Okay. And 4 movement points. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so you're not going to get a chance to move for a bit here, actually, so... Okay. Have various status and abilities. An icon next to the enemy's portrait indicates that they are under influence of some kind of effect. Click the right mouse button to see more details. Is he under? Oh, he's under... Oh yeah, line of sight. Like that. Okay. So I wanted to check... Yeah, so... It does have a cooldown of 1 turn. Okay, so you can't just spam it. Good I did not take that assuming that then. Oh, we can take heroic action. Yeah, I can see why making this one will be free will be better, because once we get a 3rd ability, you know, we'll have more AV bandwidth. Okay, so we can go for some higher damage. I'll reduce its armor.
Nothing I can't do.
14 damage. Let's see here. Pretty much no dodge chance whatsoever. Not the highest damage, but it is what it is. Oh, I wanted to check last thing. Was the crit chance? No. Okay. I just wanted to see. Yeah. Okay, so if you get really high hit chance, use the bonus. So 15% was our crit there. Oh, I should have Surefire planned. Oh well. I keep forgetting about Surefire plan. I keep forgetting it's like resets per combat, so I keep hoarding it. Oh, okay, so these guys are really useless. Oh no, he's got a pistol. Look at this man. Okay.
No can do.
Oh, no line of sight. Oh, that's the problem. This is a significant problem. We should have checked that. That's what you get. And those guys are going to really lay in. Okay, I can do that.
What is this?
Ah, it's fine. What's the worst that could happen?
But of course. Big one.
Okay. That's much better. Aww. Okay. I corrected its movement correctly, but forgot to account for the very important fact that its melee range is not 1.
Whispers.
Mistakes.
Calls to
Horrible
me.
mistakes. Okay. Okay, I think we should use one of these. Okay.
I'll do it.
Oh. Wow, he can speak Russian. Hey, nice parry. Oh my god, the double parry ALR is a god. So does he just get... Why did they get a turn? Oh, never mind. They were in the turn order. Okay. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Is there a way to fire? 4. Okay, we'll get 4 shots. Sorry, this has turned into a much harder fight than I thought it was, because I kind of really messed up my psyker placement. Oh, I want to see... Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that then. Okay.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
What?
Pain and
There's something that is not registering here. Why do you get infinite turns? There's nothing that tells me they get infinite turns. Which is very confusing, right? Because their turn order's up here, yet they continue to, you know, have turns. Which is confusing, I think we can all admit.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. Let me help.
Just in time.
So why can't I use my Daring Breach? Like, something is going on here that's extremely unclear. Like, is it not my turn anymore? What's the plan? Or is it just bugged? Who knows? Like, literally, who knows? This... Why is the momentum thing not allowed anymore? This is confusing. Okay. We're gonna attack it that way. But, yeah, there's no indication that it gets a turn every time you attack it. Like, there's just no indication that that's what's going on here, but apparently it's. Alright, can I still do stuff with 0 AP? I can. Great. Great.
At your beck and call. I will do my duty. Victory is imminent.
Okay. God. Yeah, just weird little thing that did not explain why this thing just gets extra moves all the time. Because I'd think it'd be energy boost, but not the case. Are 0 AP abilities able to activate at any point? Extremely unclear. Okay.
Already done.
It's always hard choosing besides to keep the exploits or... In this case, it'd be 19 to 28. It's great.
Nothing I can't do.
42 damage. That was, yeah. So I wanted to use the higher chance just to get a higher crit chance, and that worked out. Okay. And expose weakness. How are you going to miss that? Wow. I'll take a dodge.
Can I fall back now?
More damage is fine. Okay. Yeah, don't know why this thing just like kept getting turns. It's kind of crazy, honestly, but okay, I assume that's like damaging acid based on visuals. But it's unclear. It looks like it, but... I guess I have to go put the abilities on everyone to just have them even have the option, because apparently it just completely disappeared from... It's kind of annoying. Yeah, because here we can do the single shots.
And thy light I crave. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Alright, well, you got your dodge. Merry Christmas.
I'll do it. You, my Emperor.
Okay, 15%, I respect it.
Commands, I act.
You know, sometimes you just have a skill issue.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
You know, it is what it is, as they say.
Indeed. At your beck and call.
Only done then. Alrighty.
Suits my purposes.
We're not going to be missing this one.
Nothing I can't do.
Beautiful. Okay. Great. Extremely questionable. Why that guy got... I still do not understand why this guy got so many turns. Also, we leveled up again. My god. They're really power leveling you too. Although that enemy was, I think, very high level. Apparently you don't get to see. Okay. Well, actually, let's... Alright, we're leveling. Okay, this has been a weird episode. Sorry, I got overwhelmed by just magic special attacks that the enemy could do, and then also, like, this ability not appearing anymore on the... So I had to... Alright. Okay, stat here, I think we pump intelligence to 50. Right, that's going to give us a lot of things, but also give us to the next actual int bonus, which is pretty big. Okay. A common talent. Oh. Yeah, so these are not the class-based one, which makes taking the class-based ones a little bit more sensible. Okay. So I actually haven't looked as much as these, so we should probably, but, Solid projectile is tempting because we're using a sniper rifle a bunch. Some of these are very tempting. And there's also the... Ah, the plan ones. Okay, I think we are going to either get the training. Yeah, we're not moving around too much, so +2 minimum damage is pretty nice, right? In my opinion, more useful than maximum damage because you close your actual damage window rather than expanding it. I mean, 2 extra health, but we're going to get to at least like level 20 something, so we'll turn into like 10 more health or whatever by the end, which is not nothing. We already have ballistic skills an option here. Hmm. So we could really pump intelligence, which is very tempting because we do plan on going to Grand Strategist. Which in fact might be what we do. But this will bring us to 60 tech use. Which is pretty cool. So I think we want to be our tech use guy. Somebody logic's also good. Okay. We are going to be very lame. And pump intelligence. Just because it's going to snowball into a lot of our abilities. Okay, no, before I completely commit to that though, I wanted to check the damage window. So that would make it 14 to 17, which is pretty good. What are some other solid weapon damage windows? So that would just make it 5 flat. Interesting. So from what I can see, the damage windows here, at the very least, are not that wide besides the sniper. Yeah, I wonder what happens, because some of these will literally go over their maximum. So that's very, very curious. Yeah, because getting the advanced skill for, like, tech use, which we can actually just get here. Which is actually pretty crazy. Because that puts us, yeah, insane. Plus we get our reroll failed. Which should get us into a lot of, like, doors and stuff like that. Okay, we'll do that. Since we can grab an advanced skill, let's grab an advanced skill and really, we're going to be Mr. Logic, Tech Use. Yeah. Right, we're already getting our intelligence to 50 at the very least, which is very nice. Okay. And our damage doesn't feel bad so far. So I think that's fine. Cool. Yeah, now we have 66 tech use, which is pretty crazy. And when we get our bonus intelligence, it'll bump it up to 70. Okay, cool. Alright. What about you, mister? What do you get? Talent and a characteristic. Okay. I think we're going to do dual combat. Just so we get some more use for when we stand there. Because, right, it's great if we can use the extra ability, but, right, if we don't have charge going on. We already have Endure. I think disarm's pretty good, but we're going to go dual weapon combat. Actually, no. I think we're going to go disarm. 15% extra armor is pretty good. It's good for boss fights, I think. Right, we want to be throwing Abelard in front of the toughest enemy, basically, is what we're choosing here. What we chose last time was the Clenched Teeth, yeah, so I think we're going to... Between Disarm and Living Shield. Living Shield's good in the case where you're running up to, for example, in that last situation, if he didn't eat all of his teammates, right, those guys would have been shooting at us. And Abelard standing there would have been able to make use of Living Shield for some extra damage reduction. But I think we're going to go Disarmed, just because if we can use him to body block, it's pretty good. And since he's our only melee character right now, his attack opportunities and body blocking is kind of the main thing we want to use him for. So I think we're going to go for that. That seems cool. Ooh. Between toughness or weapon skill. We're going to do toughness because we're just going to see an immediate bonus. Wait, what? Huh. Something happens to the item, I think. Okay, so you're 55 because of Origin and Humanity's Finest. Weird. Very weird. Okay. Ooh, or we can use strength. We'll do toughness for now. We're making him tank boy. Okay, yeah, okay. They just didn't account for that properly. Got it. Got it. And now will affect his other abilities quite a bit. Yeah. That's very much a good call. Okay. Sorry it's taking a little bit, but that's the game of these things. Okay, I think we want to just pump. We're gonna do a perception here. That'll just bring us to the next thing, but willpower is what you want to take for psychers for the most part. But since we're right on the perception and we want to be going down bounty hunter, which will also scale off perception, might as well bump it up to the next thing. Okay. What do you want? It's kind of real. Oh, we can get the psyker stuff over here. Okay, that's good to recognize. We want to definitely use these to grab those type of skills. So what's the other one I was looking for? I was looking at Second Sight, which we just saw would have been very useful in the last one to not die like that. So we're going to do Second Sight, just because it allows us to sit her in the back with less problems of range. Alrighty, last but not least, probably ballistic skill. Yeah, we're just gonna get you to 50 there. And +4 damage on the first hit. It's pretty good. Rapid reload's just too good not to grab. It will become just continually more and more useful. Right, especially as it's going to get you out of some terrible situation at some point, much more than other things. Or at least in a much more directly visible way. Okay, level 5, that was quick from level 4. Yeah, we are getting power leveled right now, is I believe the correct term.
It's about time.
Cool. Alright. Oh. Some equipment. Do we get a cave? Sure. There you go. So these are the key items. Can you read this? Oh, yeah, this is the letter from Theodora. Now, or to Theodora that was on her desk. Change in circumstances demand your immediate assistance for a mutual cause. Forthwith, upon receiving this letter and performing necessary preparations of your crew, you should depart for the Reichard system. One of my agents, interrogator Henry X von Kullux, operates there at the present time. Upon your arrival in the system, you will, without delay, make contact with him and offer assistance required of you, after which you'll provide him passage to the Furibundus system aboard your ship. On footfall, the interrogator will remove himself from your presence to await further instructions. Anticipating any questions you may have, I will stress that the nature of Interrogator von Kalox's activities on Reichard and Minoris are of no concern to you. If required, von Kalox himself will disclose the details of his mission. May the Emperor's light be with you. XC. Alright, what are these? I mean, I guess, you know, you can have these. You fell. Great.
We shall prevail. I won't tolerate weakness.
You won't? Okay. Hello?
A new challenge.
What the hell is going on? I'm not trying to use this
I'm
thing.
tired of violence.
Jesus.
Let's move.
What?
Not my specialty. I don't have time for this.
Okay, the game is horribly broken in regards to heroic actions, it seems. Like, very oddly, specifically, heroic actions seem to be broken. And not in, like, any mechanical way, but in a,
Your seneschal is always there for you.
What is going on? Okay, we're gonna end this here, because all of my buttons now apparently are heroic action, and, that's not what we need, so... Good boss fight, had surprise mechanics that weren't elaborated anywhere in any of the tooltips or anything. That just gets extra turns when it was hit, which were highly complicated things, but it came out perfectly fine at the end of the day. So yeah, and it turns out these things are not, or maybe they auto-refill. I was going to say, we didn't use one for
When the faithful are idle, heresy grows.
We'll see. Alright, thanks for watching.